Hey everybody, thanks for joining me again. It's Patty Ann here. The first thing I want to tell you is thank you all so much. Really, thank you. Because of you, I've finally reached 30,000 subscribers on YouTube. It's just something that's been on my bucket list. To my knowledge, nothing special happens when you get to 30,000 subscribers, but I'm just happy to get there and I'm just thrilled and I really thank you very much. All right, today I'm going to show you another thing that we did on our Facebook group. If you're not a member, you ought to join because I'm going to keep doing this because I think it's a lot of fun. What I do is I post something randomly and I say the first two people that comment and say that they'll make the project and send me photos of it, I'll give them the SVGs for free. So this is the second time I'm doing this. And this time it was the cutest little project ever, and it's really easy. And I want you to look below at my screen and I'll show you what it is we're using, the SVGs. I'll show you mine towards the end and how to put it together. But wait until you see the ones that other people have made. Oh my gosh. One gal, Linda, really went over the top making hers beautiful, adding all kind of embellishments to it. So if you're the kind of person that likes to embellish things, I think you'll really enjoy seeing hers. And Teresa's is beautiful. I love how, well, I'm not going to give it away. You'll have to wait. So let's get started. Okay, the only thing you'll need is the SVG, and I'll put a link for it for you down below in case you should like to make it. And honestly, this is the perfect thing to make, I think, for a graduation gift for fun, for a Christmas gift you can make it, depending on what color of papers and what kind of embellishments you put on it. But what's really cool about it is the surprise that's inside the little birdhouse. So let's look, and actually you could even customize the little bird, you know. So let's look at my screen, as I said, and this is what you get when you get the SVG, and it's super cute. The first thing that I did when I got mine was I right-clicked on it and said ungroup. And that allowed me to click off and then click back on. That allowed me to move the different pieces together like that. Okay. The next thing that I did for mine was actually this. I wanted to fit mine a certain way on my paper because of the pattern paper I'm using. It's striped and I wanted the stripes to run a specific way. So I wanted to make sure it was going to fit the way I wanted it to. So I held down my shift key and just dragged it around like this. Now notice if I put it like that, it's not even going to fit on my regular mat. So here's what I decided to do. I grabbed everything back up together. So I'm going to resize everything and I want to do it at the same time so everything stays proportionate. So I just grabbed all of it and I just took this little box right down here in the lower right hand corner and pulled that in like that so it was going to fit. So now it's easily peasily going to fit on a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, and that's what I use because let me show you what I did use. I used this. I think it was from Tuesday morning. Anyway, I like to use these paper pads a lot of times because I have trouble sometimes figuring out which colors I like together. And if you need to do something quickly, use the paper pad because you know those all go together. They're all designed to work with one another. So that's perfect for us. Also, it was fairly inexpensive because those were from Tuesday morning, as I said. And I think the whole pad was like $6.99 and the papers are beautiful. So that's what I did. I used the 12 by 12 card stock or pattern papers from there. And I just squished my images in so that it would fit on that any way I wanted to put it. And I could probably make it a little tiny bit bigger if I want to, like that. Just as long as it's going to fit within the border of my mat. So the first thing that I did do after that was I just went ahead, and since I'm using my Cameo, I went ahead and, well, first I went to send it to see what it was going to look like, right? And if I have all of this selected and I say cut, it's going to cut this all just like this, and that's perfect if you don't mind the little dash lines. And I think for today's purposes, I'll just leave it like that. it'll just make little dashed cuts where the fold should be. So let's go back to design. The next thing that I did do is this. I'll move this over here. I did the same thing with this. Let's check it out when we go to send. And again, I'll highlight it and say cut. And so once again, you can see what's going to cut out and what's going to be the little dash lines that will be the score lines. In another video, I've shown you how to change the score lines if you don't really want them to be little cuts. And actually, I'll show you that on this little piece right here. So if we go back to design and let's scroll way in using the bug tool. And I'm going to change this to a different color so we can see more easily. I'll make it a light gray, which you can't really see very well. All right, you probably can't see this very well. Let me scroll in again. Hopefully you can see these little dashed lines right here. Those are the score lines. And all of the lines, whether it be the score lines right here or the outer lines, are red right now. I'm going to change it so the score lines are a different color. So watch. I'm going to click on this, which selects the whole thing, and I'm going to ungroup it. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the outside of that, the line color. You see the line color up here? I'm going to leave that as red. My cut lines are red. I'm going to change my score lines to green. So I got to come in here and try to click on these score lines. There we go, I got them. And I'm going to come right up here and I'm going to change them to green. Now you really won't be able to see them very well. Maybe I should change that background to white. This guy here. This guy to white. Okay. So you'll be able to see as soon as I go to send. And now if I say by line color, notice this, there are two different line colors. So this one, I can have it cut the regular way. And when I'm done with that, I would unclick that and click on the green one. Now the green one, I would change to a lighter force, or I can change it up here actually from cut to score, right? And it goes way down here for my blade and for my force. So basically what it does is rather than cutting the little holes, it's just going to make little indentations. So this might be something that you want to test first by clicking right here on a sample or on a test sheet of paper to see if that score line is making enough of a score line and isn't actually cutting through your page. So that's just what I would do here. Now let's scroll back out and let me undo all of this for a sec. It's going to come back in and let me get this back to the way it was. All right. So once again, what I would do if I was using this with my Cricut machine, well, actually, I don't even need to change it over here. I can just open this directly in Cricut. Check it out. I would just come up here to Cricut. As a matter of fact, I think one of the people used the Cricut machine for this project, and 2 or 3 of the others used the Cameo. Okay, here we are in Cricut. All I would need to do is say upload, upload an image, browse, and I would look for that same thing. That was layered cards. That was yesterday's. So it's the bird money card, and it's the one where it's not zipped up anymore. It's unzipped, and it's the SVG. So I would say open, and there it is. Save, and insert it. And it comes in just like this for Cricut Design Space too, so it's not a problem at all. So I would just cut it just like this and say make it. And there are my birds, etc. But let's go back to Silhouette because I'm going to show you a few more things there. So we're back in Silhouette now, and I'm going to go out. So what I did do in my Silhouette was for this guy right here, I left him as a single layer. And you're going to find on one of the persons, hers actually looks like it's textured, like it's burlap or something, but I think it's just some nice, really nice cardstock. And another person made her, I think she cut hers out of white cardstock and then used markers, Copic markers to color hers. And so let's see. So, but this one, this is the one that goes inside. Let me scroll in. This is the one that goes inside of your birdhouse. And this is the one that holds the dollars, the money. Show me the money bird, right? So what I did with him was I right-clicked on him and said, duplicate. And I could have done this a different way. And then I right-clicked again and said flip horizontally because I wanted him to be a duplicate of this one. Not that big a deal though, since I'm not using pattern paper. The other way I could have done this was this. Highlighted him, come over here to the replicate panel and said mirror to the right or to the left, whatever I wanted one. And there we go. Perfect, just like that. So that's all you have to do for this project. It's so easy peasy. And all you have to do is actually glue one thing. Unless you double up on the bird right here. There's only one thing of gluing or taping that you need to do. So I'm going to show you that right now. Follow me down to my desk and check it out. Okay, these are the only pieces that you need to make it. This is the one large piece, and I already had mine put together. When I tore it back apart, I tore a little piece of this off of here, but you'll still get the idea. So you put the one bird on the front, and then you're going to place this together, and it shows you how to do it in the directions. And the only place you need tape is right here on this little spot right here, because this is all going to go together perfectly, especially if I hadn't torn it. But it's okay because it won't be a problem at all in a moment. All right, so then I just glue these two sides together like this. And then the other piece that you have that was the square, you do put some glue. You don't have to, but I put glue on mine and stuck it down inside of here. And that just gives it a little bit more stability. And then the other thing that you do is you just fold this apart like this, and you have a little piece of ribbon up here with a bow or something, and here's your bird that you made. And of course you can put a dollar bill in here, a 50, 100, whatever. Is there $1,000 bill? I don't even know. But then this just turns into his wings, and isn't that cute? So you do this, you put him in here like this, and you give the gift. And you know, while I'm putting this together, I have a funny story to tell you. A friend of mine has two granddaughters, and they're kind of like pre-teens, and she gave them Christmas presents. It must have been Christmas, and they were umbrellas, and they're like, oh, thanks a lot, Grandma, you know, and gee, you know, they were really kind of down the dumps because who wants an umbrella for their Christmas present, right? Well, she says, now be sure y'all you open those up and use them and make sure they're okay and work okay. So the next time she saw them, she asked them about the umbrellas, and of course they hadn't had a chance to open them yet. And she says, well, you know, girls, go get those umbrellas and let's open them up and make sure they're okay. Well, what she had done was from strings, you know, from the little rib things inside the umbrella, she had hung thread, and on those pieces of thread she had hung bills. So there was money in that. So it's almost like pennies or dollars from heaven if they had opened up their umbrellas, as their grandma had suggested they do. So they were sure shocked and surprised and happy when they did that. But here's this thing. Suppose you give this to somebody for their birthday or graduation, or like I said, you could put a little graduation cap on him. You could make this out of Christmas colors. You could add all kind of embellishments. And again, stay tuned to see what other people have done. But check this out. When the person takes it apart and they open it up like you suggested, they find the little bird, the blue bird of happiness. Tammy's is blue, and that's what it reminded me of, but with money stuck inside. I just think it's super cute, and it's a nice, cute way to give some money if you're handing it to them in person. So I hope you like this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, and also hit the little bell so you're always notified when I go live or when I have a new video, if you'd like. Also, thanks again for subscribing. I'm so excited to get to 30,000 subscribers. Check out the links below. I'll have the link for this down there if you're interested in getting it, or check out some of the other things at the same website. So, without further ado, look at these.